Hi everyone, my name is Nikhil Kumar, and many students have been requesting for me to teach online in these days during the lockdown and when schools and colleges are not opening and they don't seem to be opening anytime soon. So they have been requesting me, sir, please teach online or use some online platform to offer us some of your lessons. So here I am, and students, hope you all are safe, you are doing well, and at the same time you are studying as well. Okay, so here I am to give you a session on reading comprehension. Hope this will help you, and let's get started. So today we will look at reading comprehensions, and especially those reading comprehensions which are tougher relatively. Okay, they may be short in length, but still they are far more challenging and difficult to understand because of the vocabulary, because of maybe technical terms and jargons, maybe because of the fact that the topic they are dealing with, they are quite unfamiliar to us. Okay, so those kinds of passages we are going to discuss today, and how to understand them, how to tackle them, and how to crack them. Okay, so I will be picking up an actual RC which showed up in XAT 2014. Yes, so XAT is known to offer you very tough RCs. These kinds of RCs also show up in your CAT exam at times, but XAT you will always find tough RCs. Okay, so let us have a look at RC XAT 2014. So you can see the RC in front of you on your screen. It is not that long. Length is definitely not a problem here. What is problematic is the fact that it involves a lot of tough words and technical terms. So let's have a look at them. What you can do is you can pause the video and go through the RC. In fact, you can even download this RC. It is available on the link which I have given in the description below. Okay, what you can do right now is you can pause the video, go through the entire RC, go through the questions as well, see if you can try a few questions on your own as well. All right, and then we will have a thorough discussion on it. So that now you have unpaused it and you can view the video. I believe you have already gone through the passage as well as the questions. Now let us have a look at the passage. But what I'll do is I will break the passage into parts. So in the first part of the paragraph, what I've done is I've taken 3 sentences. Let us understand what they are trying to convey. All right, let's go through the first 3 sentences of the RC. Ideas involving the theory of probability play a decisive part in modern physics. Okay, so what it means is ideas play ideas of what? Probability. So that means probability plays a decisive, means important part in modern physics, or simply we can say physics. So we can say probability is important to physics. All right. Yet we still lack a satisfactory, consistent definition of probability. Oh my God. So although it is very important, so now if something is important, then we should know a lot about it. But here what is happening? Yet we lack we lack something very basic. Yet we lack something very basic, which is the definition itself. We don't even have a definition for it. Or what amounts to much the same, we still lack a satisfactory axiomatic system for the calculus of probability. Okay, I didn't understand what this means, axiomatic system for the calculus of probability, and neither you need to understand this. See, when you get an RC in your CAT exam or any other major MBA entrance exam, what you have to do is you have to understand the passage so that you can answer the question. It's not that you have to master over the passage. You have to understand the passage at the macro level. You should be able to understand the story outline of the passage. And then if something is given which is too technical and too difficult, let it be. There's every possibility that there might not be a question on that part. Okay, so fine, what I understand is definition is missing, and I'll simply skip the part which says axiomatic system for the axiomatic system for the calculus of probability. I'll simply skip this part. Next, we have the relations between probability and experience are still in need of clarification. Okay, that's the second point. Probability and experience are related, but there is some clarification which is required. In investigating this problem, we shall, okay, so now we are going to investigate this problem. What problem? Definition is missing and relationship is missing, or maybe clarification is needed in a relationship between probability and experience. So in investigating this problem, we shall discover what will at first seem an almost inseparable objection to my methodological views. Okay, fine. So we are going to investigate this problem, and in the process we'll come across some objection. Fine then. So while investigating, some objection is to be discovered. All right. So this is what is meant by the first three lines, first three sentences of the passage. Once again, don't read the passage word by word. What you have to do is you have to understand the story outline. You should have an idea what the author is trying to convey at the macro level. That's it. Now, so far, our storyline goes in this way. As of now, what we have summed up is that probability is important to physics, but the definition is missing. Then there's a relationship between probability and experience, but some clarification is required. And while investigating, we will be coming across some sort of objection. Fine. Okay, now let's move on. For although probability statements play such a vitally important role in empirical science, they turn out to be in principle impervious to strict falsification. Okay, there are quite a few tough words here. Empirical, principle, strict falsification. Okay, when we say although probability statements play such a vitally important role in empirical science, what it means is in practical world it plays a very important role, but in theory what happens, we even lack with something very basic like definition. Okay, so what do we mean by impervious to strict falsification? What it means is if something is impervious to strict falsification, we can't prove it false, neither we can prove it unfalse, or we can't even prove it true. We can't prove anything about it. Okay, so what it means is there's no possibility of testing or observing, so we can't prove whether how true it is or whether how false it is. Simply we can't prove it. Of course, if you don't even have definition, what can you do? In practical world, probability has got so many applications, but in theory, we can't even prove it false, or we don't even have something basic like definition here. Yet, this very stumbling block will become a touchstone, a parameter to test my theory in order to find out what it is worth, all right? Thus, we are confronted with two tasks. Now, this is important. We are confronted with two tasks. That means there must be two tasks. So first, okay, in the next line, we have the first task is to provide new foundation. That's easy. This I shall try to do by developing the theory of probability as a frequency theory along the lines followed by Richard von Mises, but without the use of what he calls the axiom of convergence or limit axiom, and with a somewhat weakened axiom of randomness. I didn't get a thing. It's totally Greek to me. But mind you, we don't have to understand each and every word of the passage. What we should be doing, we should be in a hurry to reach the question. There's every possibility that the tough part which we have in the passage may not be tested in questions. Okay, and even let's say there is a question on that tough part, we always have the option of leaving that tough question and doing the other easier ones. All right, so I'll simply skip the last part which I did not understand much. So the second task is to elucidate relation between probability and experience. Okay, so this is what second task is, to elucidate, simplify the relation between probability and experience. This means solving what I call the problem of decidability of probability statements. My hope is that these investigations will help to relieve the present unsatisfactory situation in which physicists make much use of probabilities without being able to say consistently what they mean by probability. So what is the author hoping for? My hope is that these investigations will help to make the present unsatisfactory situation better. How? In present, we don't have the definition, which we did earlier. Okay, we don't have the definition of probability, but at the same time we make use of it, probability. So author is hoping that he will be able to relieve this present unsatisfactory situation. How? By coming up with the definition of probability. All right, so presently in theory we don't have definition for probability, and the author intends to solve this situation. Okay, so far so good, but it was a tough passage. Terms were tough. Why it was tough? Of course, because of vocabulary, and then secondly, most of us are not the students of physics. It seems as if this passage has been taken out from the textbook of physics. You never know. All right, but at the same time, we did not waste time in scratching our heads over something that we did not understand. Rather, we ensured that we keep moving on, we keep reading on, and eventually we are supposed to reach the questions where we have to see which are the easier ones. We have to first mark the easier questions, crack them, attempt them, and then see if you are left with time, then you can even take up the difficult questions. Okay, so now let's start with questions. Okay, so this is our first question. Okay, we've got a statement. The relations between probability and experience are still in need of clarification. Yeah, that was one of the problems which the author was trying to solve. What does it imply? Okay, this looks like slightly tougher question. I would suggest if you are really sure of this question, go and attempt it, or else as of now we'll just park it. We will just park this question here for some time, and before we solve this question, let us have a look at other questions and see to it whether we have some easier questions or not. Okay, we have question number 2. Author has talked about the 2 tasks. Yes, we remember this, and we remember that 2 tasks are to be achieved in the process, in the journey. All right, choose the best option from the following statements relevant to the task. Oh, this looks easy. First task sufficient? No, both the tasks are required. Second task sufficient? No, both. Either? No, both. None? Both the tasks. Here it is, the 5th option. Both the tasks would be important for the author to test his theory. So I want you to be looking out for these kind of questions first. Okay, very easy. 5th option is the right answer. Let us have a look at the 3rd question as well. Which of the following statements can be inferred from the passage? Okay, now before we crack this question, let me teach you one thing. Usually the extreme option, the strong options are usually incorrect in the RCs. What I mean by strong or extreme options, let me tell you. Let's say I tell you that Sam is very good at English, and you infer that Sam is good at only English. Is that inference correct? Well, that is one of the possible cases, an extreme case I would say, but this can't be conclusion, this can't be inference. Similarly, if I say he's good at cycling, can you say he's good at only cycling? Or let's say this boy is from Delhi and he's very good at physics. So does that mean that all the boys from Delhi would be very good at physics? All the students from Delhi would be very good at physics? Not necessarily. Just because one student is good at physics and he's from Delhi does not mean that all the students from Delhi would be good at physics. So when you do this, you are overgeneralizing, which is called as extreme option or strong option. Okay, so we will look out for words like only, highly. This suggests that they are strong options. So only, highly, always. First option, physics is the only subject that borrows from the theory of probability. Only subject, we know that probability is important to physics. Does that mean only to physics, not to other subjects? We don't know. Physics is the only subject where the theory of probability is inaccurately applied. Only, I don't know. Fourth option, highly. Physics is highly mathematical. We don't know. It is again extreme and strong as well. Experience relates to physical objects only. We don't know whether abstract or only physical. We don't know. The theory of probability may be inaccurately applied in other subjects. That is a possibility in physics, although we make full application, full utilization of it. We don't know. Maybe, I mean, the author, the question maker himself is saying maybe. Yeah, there's a maybe, which is fine. So you can see the third option is not extreme. Okay, it is moderate. So and the remaining four options are extreme. So third option is the right answer. Okay. Now, this is what I want you to do. First, you try to attempt the easier questions. Now, let's go back to the question number 1, which was considered tough by us earlier. Okay, the first question says, the relations between probability and experience are still in need of clarification. What does it imply? So yeah, we did come across this thing. Probability of an event can always be checked with experience. Clearly, this is incorrect because it has got always is an extreme option. It's a very strong option. Probability of an event can be gauged, can only be, okay, first of all, it says only, it's wrong. And historically, that is also wrong because nothing about history has been mentioned in the passage. Probability is mathematical while experience is real. Okay, but we don't know whether experience is real, abstract, or what. So again, we can't say much about it. Then we do have probability is important to physics, but here it simply says probability is totally mathematical. We don't know. Probability statements can become difficult to disprove, unprove, or disprove, or prove false without experience. Yeah, so theoretically, in principle, in theory, it is not possible. So yes, we can say it can become difficult to disprove without experience. I can park this option. Probability is futuristic. No, it has. We don't know anything about future or past or what's going to show up in future as something very promising. We don't know. So clearly, the right answer is D delta. So you saw. We did the first question as well, although it was very tough. But what I'm trying to convey, that let's suppose you are not sure about the first question, which you may be. I mean, it's very much possible. It's highly likely that you, in that state of mind when you are taking test, then instead of attempting this one question, you should be attempting those two easier questions. That is what I want you to do. Okay, that is what my tip, that is what I'm recommending. All right, now this was the passage. Today I'm making this video. Today is 21st of June, Sunday. And today, 21st of June, Sunday in the evening at 6 p.m. I'm also delivering a lecture live session on Unacademy. And it is totally free of cost. So feel free to be a part of that session. The details of the session I am also leaving in the description below. So you can check the details of the session that I'm going to take today on Unacademy at 6 p.m. Today is 21st of June, Sunday. So today, and you can find all the details, be it the link, be it the other details, all of the details can be found in the description below. All right. Okay. And also in the comment section, let me know if you have any doubts in this RC specifically, or what are more topics on which you would like to see more videos, and what are the topics that are troubling you. You can also let me know how are you studying these days. Okay, and yes, feel free to share this video with anyone whom you think needs help in verbal ability, okay, who is planning to take CAT or any other major MBA entrance exam. So for him, this video can be very beneficial. So feel free to share the video with him. And yeah, the name of the channel is Angrezi Panthi. You can join it, you can subscribe to it, so that whenever I make a new video, you get to know about it and you can watch it. Okay. And so that's it, guys. I'm signing off now. But yes, don't forget to be a part of today's session, which is on Unacademy. And in this session also, I will be taking up another reading comprehension. Okay. All right, then. See you there. Goodbye. Good luck. Take care.